How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to Tour Life. Today is Tuesday, September 9th. Yuli's got a couple family things going on, so he might be a few minutes late, but I am joined here with Gary. We're going to be breaking down everything that went down at DGLO this past weekend and a couple of storylines. We might even be looking at maybe some of the bubble players that are going to have to make moves here in the playoffs to end up making it to the Tour Championship. But before we get into all that, Gary, how's it going, brother?
It's going really well. I went out this morning and played a brand new disc golf course. To me, my goal is to eventually play every course in the state of Pennsylvania, and a real nice little 9-hole course. Starts out with a water carry and ends with a water carry, but most people probably don't play the course because I walked away with the all-time course record. So I feel pretty good about myself.
There you go. Yuli joining us now. Yules, how's it going, bro?
What's up, man? I'm good. Can you hear me?
Yes, loud and clear. Sounds
perfect.
Great.
Perfect.
And you guys hear the corgis?
Oh, yeah. Barking it up.
I've been on corgi duty all day. They are ready for mom to get home. That is for sure. So if they are barking a little bit, I apologize. They should tone it down as the episode kind of goes on.
Came in late. I heard Gary's got a little course record out there. So.
Yeah, Gary just capturing course records left and right.
Which it goes to show you how few people play that course, apparently.
Oh, we don't know that.
Gary's doing what I did, where it's like you get you go and play the brand new layout. You know, they change a couple different things on the course, and you're one of the first cards out. You shoot the best out of the 8 people that have the morning rounds, and you get to hold the course record for a few minutes.
Like that,
yeah. So let's just jump right into it and talk a little bit about our weekend, Yuli, out at DGLO. Do you want to start?
Sure, I can go. Yeah.
Yeah, go.
Yeah,
for it.
It started off pretty decent practice week. I'm gonna tell you what, man, that course is beast, bro. We mentioned the wind and everything, and I was talking some mad game. Like, hey, man, I got what it takes out here.
Well, I mean, you should feel confident going into it for sure.
Through the week, dude, I'm practicing the different layouts, and I get 2 rounds in, and I'm like, dude, I'm beat up. Like walking up and down those hills got me beat up. Like I had to take a day off, and then the next day came to practice, and I was like, I think I'm gonna go practice a different course. So I went into the first round pretty fresh, feeling pretty good, not a lot of wind, and I played okay. My putt really let me down, is actually what happened. I had like 4 or 5 from right at 40 feet that would have really changed the dynamic of my round, and I just couldn't hit any of them. And then I ended up shooting an even par, which really isn't that bad out there.
No.
And then the second round is when the big winds came up, and yeah, kind of the same thing. Like I was on track to playing really good, and I missed 4 in the circle early. And so I missed 4 in the circle early, and I'm even par going in the last 5 holes. So I'm pushing a little bit, and I push a little.
Did you change your putt due to the wind in round 2?
I do typically like it.
A little spinnier.
You know what? I just didn't have the confidence for some reason. Like I was standing over the putt, and I was standing over it for too long. And by the time I was ready to pull the trigger, I just didn't have what it took. I mean, I kind of know what I did wrong.
Yeah.
But it's hard to correct during the round. Then I started feeling anxious. Like, okay, now I keep landing at this exact spot, like right around 30 feet, and it's windy, and yeah, I just wasn't comfortable. So then I'm going to the last 5 holes, and I'm like, dude, I don't think I can get any of these, you know? Like, this is windy. So I'm thinking, like, if I can get to like 1-2 under, solid round. And it would have been like, you know.
Yeah, try battle back into it a little bit.
But it would have kept me right there at the cash line, probably. And
cash line ended up being 7 under. Or no, wait.
No.
It
was 4 under. It was 4 under. 3 under ended up being the cash line.
Yeah. 4 under got you to play on Sunday.
Yeah. Yep. And so I don't know, a couple little things kept me from that, and then I pushed down the end, and I ended up getting 5 straight bogeys. So I shoot 5 over par. But the 5 over par really wasn't a 5 over par. You know what I mean? If I'm like It is, but I'm pushing to get a better score. And in those conditions, you do that and you're risking bogey, which is exactly what I did.
Mm-hmm.
Because you can play. The only one that really forces you to take a bogey is 16. 16
There's
is
no way to really play
There's
that
no
for
way.
par.
You have to play aggressive. If you don't pure it, you take a bogey. So I take a bogey there. I go into 17, and now I want birdie, which is a pretty greedy ask.
Two big shots. You have to go big off the tee to get up there.
Exactly. Yeah. And so I'm sitting over par or whatever, and I think I bogeyed the last 4 holes. It wasn't the last 5. And so I go into that one, and there's a really easy way to play that one for par. You throw a sidearm inbounds short, and then you pitch it to the landing zone, and then you throw up. It's pretty manageable. Yep. I throw my nuke, dude. These people in front of me throw their shots, and they all kind of like turn over kind of by the bush line or whatever, and it was like sketchy. Like everybody went out of bounds pretty much. And I'm like, and Goose was actually on the other tee pad. So I throw this shot hyzer with my number 2 most stable disc, because I couldn't throw my most stable disc that's not going to get to the landing zone. Mm-hmm. And it looks good, just right out the hand. As soon as this thing tips over, bro, it just goes whoop, roller, and just turns into a roller off the hill straight out of bounds left. So it turned into a cut roller.
Oh, and no.
Good out of my hand, So I play that one for par. I go into the last hole. And I go, I actually land one in bounds. I play a pretty good shot up the hill, and then I go for the roller to get the birdie, miss it, bogey. And so it was like one of those things where I could have easily managed to if I'm a few under to pad my score and shoot a few under, but I put myself in a bad position. And I played too aggressive. And to give my caddy, Brad, credit, he told me, he's like, let's just get out of here with a decent score, and we'll try to do our work tomorrow. I didn't listen to him, and I went full on, and it ended up costing me because it made it to where I had to shoot like a 9 under the final round, which puts me in the same position.
It's asking
where
a lot.
I have to be so aggressive the whole entire time in that place, especially for my play style. Like I don't have the aggressive nature on there to be able to do it. So it was a combination of, I think what it really came down to is the putt wasn't working for the first time in a long time. So now my confidence in everything's at an all-time low. Sure. Horrible decision to go for all kinds of stuff I shouldn't be going for. And then put myself way behind the 8 ball. And that was my week.
Yeah. I mean, this is a course, and we're seeing more and more of these courses out there. We saw a lot of it in the final round as well, with the guys contending for the lead, of where pushing it and trying to throw the shots that it demands out there. If you don't execute, that's where you can start taking bogeys and doubles, right? And gone are the days, Yuli, where it's like, let's just chuck it out there. If it's a good shot, then it's going to be a pretty easy birdie. If it's a bad shot, then I'll just save par. Like a lot of these holes now, if you throw a bad shot off the tee, you have to throw like a ridiculously good second shot on these par 4s to save yourself the par, which I think is what we all want to see, right? It puts a little bit more onus on the first shot and the second shot as well. My tournament, I first want to say, the best part of my tournament was definitely getting to meet everyone up there. Now, I don't know if it's just Discraft land and there's just a lot more Discraft fans up there, and you've got all the crazy Paul Macbeth and AB drops, and so there's just tons of people all around when you're finishing your rounds. But after both my 2 rounds, there were so many people there that I got to spend some time with, talk with. And I always think that's really awesome. Like, it's great to like sign someone's autograph, take a selfie real quick, but it's even better when they have stories or you connect certain ways. I met a bunch of people from Whatnot, met some people that have done disc dives for me. And so it was really cool getting to meet a lot of the people up there. And some of the people I've been seeing every year I've gone up there. I had a new caddy this year. Shout out to my guy, Donald. Took off work to caddy for me Thursday and Friday. So big shout out to him. Really cool guy. Was able just to kind of hang out and talk throughout the 2 rounds out there. my round one, if we're starting there, this is a tournament, and maybe Gary or Edwin or someone can kind of let me know if I'm being accurate or not. But this is a course that I feel like in the past I've had a decent finishing. I've had maybe like early on, like 2021, 2022. I think I've had one good finish, two good finishes, maybe. And that was back when the course Yuli was a lot more, hey, if you can throw really far, but not really have to be accurate, you're going to do way better than everyone else because you can birdie holes. And a lot of these people that can't throw far enough can't birdie them, right? And so just by being able to throw far, you had such a huge advantage. And obviously you still have a big advantage out there this week by being able to throw far, but you have to be accurate. You can't just spray it off the tee, right? And so going into this tournament, I was feeling pretty good. I was feeling pretty confident as like, hey, I can put together maybe one or two decent rounds and then hold on for the other round and see if I can make the cut play on Sunday. And, you know, unfortunately just didn't really – I mean, I actually got off to a decent start going back and looking at it. I ended up – I birdied – let's see here. Hold on. I got to figure out where I'm at.
Well, you do that, Brody, to update you. You finished 9th back in 2022, and then you had a couple like in around the 30s finishes.
Yeah, so top. Yeah. Well, obviously that's an error because I've never been good at disc golf. So for all those people that think I've never been good at disc golf, that 9th place never happened.
I don't think I've sniffed the top 30 in a decade over there.
The beginning started off all right? Hole 1, that's a hole that can go sideways real quick if you get a little too fancy and turn it over, and now all of a sudden you're looking at a bogey to start your round, right? So I played it safe, had like a circle 2 putt, missed the putt, and then hole 2, I was like looking at the basket on hole 2. Like I got up to where I had like a straight forehand at the basket. I boosted the drive, birdied that one. Hole 3, I thought I put a good move on it, turned over and goes OB. This was one of those things where it's like I didn't really agree with the spot, and I kind of like looked at the spot and I was like, that's really where it went out of bounds. He's like, yep. And I was right at the 500 foot marker. And I was like, send it. So I just juiced my nuke, little flip up, ended up like 20 feet past the basket on the left side, made the putt for par, which is, I was at that point, I'm like, dude, I am feeling good. Then we get to hole 4. I might have been on hole 4 for 10 minutes, Yuli. I threw my tee shot. I threw a Venom, and it went straighter than I thought. So I'm in the crap straight off the tee, right? Where you know how the woods kind of curves. I'm in that. And so now I'm in a bush. The bush is completely surrounding me. The only option, and thank God I'm 6'5", because I got my hand outside the bush. And so I'm like, the only option I have is just to do like one of these numbers. Like, oh, sorry, here we go. This is one of these. Just a little quick flick outside the bush, hits a tree, falls into another bush. Same exact thing. I'm in a bush. I can't even pitch backwards. Like I just have to just chuck it and hope. So I'm over on that hole. It was just a nightmare. I think someone, shout out to whoever said like, hey, way to survive hole 4. Because like the people we did have, I got to play with Ricky, so we had a few people watching us. And I'm sure it was one of those where it's like your partner's off and you're like, I'm just going to wait until they tell me what they got. Like they're over there. Like no one knew what I got. No one knew how many times I threw over there. I was just over there by myself for about 5 to 6 minutes. So ended up bogeying that hole, parked the next hole, which is a really tough par 3, parked it with my vulture. And then I just went on a really tough stretch, 5 bogeys in a row. And at that point I was like, all right, I think I was a couple over par. I was like, if I can somehow fight to kind of like what you were saying, fight to like even par, maybe even get to 1 under if I play well, I'm in an okay spot, and just wasn't able to really pull it off. I ended up birdieing hole 13, surprisingly, parked hole 13, And that was the only birdie I had on the back 9. And then I took a bogey on 17. So not really what I was hoping for, but I didn't play terrible after that round. But if you remember, Yuli, it was a little chilly that round.
Yeah.
And I thought I got a decent enough warm up. I thought my body felt good and everything. But on hole 2, I really went after it because I was like, hey, if I can get distance on this, that second shot's way easier. And I did feel like a little, little tinge. Didn't really mind it. Didn't really think anything of it. Ended up finishing the round same, not too bad at all. And then went. And for those, I know a lot of people are like criticizing me online, and I guess that's completely fine if you want to. It is what it is. But right now, I do have also like running goals that I'm trying to achieve. I also have like fat loss goals that I'm trying to achieve. And so I'm not just going to quit on that stuff and stop that. And I've been doing that for the last, I don't know, since like March, I think is what I've been doing. So I went out, ran my track workout. In my track workout, I ended up running more than a 5K. So like I didn't run a 5K, but like in the actual track workout, I think I ended up running 4.5 miles. And in that 4.5 miles, I actually beat my 5K time that I initially had at the beginning of this training block. So I was super stoked. I also, for all those people, I have people that are following me that aren't just disc golfers. So not every one of my posts is going to be disc golf related. And I've been working with some people to motivate and help them in their fat loss journey. So I posted it saying, hey, I'm stoked about it, whatever. Felt good. Body feels good, all that stuff. I get to my round 3 and I start warming up, and that little hip thing was still there, similar to what it was like the previous day, where I was like, hey, this is fine. I'll still deal with it. No big deal. Hole number 2 is the first backhand. I definitely went in and kind of felt like I didn't feel, and you probably have felt this way too, Gary and Yuli, where like in your head, you're like, I think something's messed up, so I'm just going to like back off on the last second, and you don't like commit to the shot because you're worried about it. I think we saw this a lot with like Paige Pierce too, with her coming back from her ankle injury, of where she just wasn't able to commit to it eventually. And it's not that big of an injury, but it's one thing that is bothersome for sure. And it got to the point of I threw a couple more backhands, and basically just told Donald, my caddy, like, I can't throw backhands anymore. The forehands don't bother it. Walking doesn't bother it. I'm just going to throw forehands for the rest of the day. And unfortunately, that was like the windiest day we've had this year on one of the longer courses. And the forehand was tough out there, Yuli. The forehand was tough. I'll let you guys guess. I only had one birdie putt all day. I'll let you guys guess what hole you think that birdie putt was on.
16.
Nope. Gary?
18.
Not 18.
Say hole 4.
13 again?
13 again. I had a birdie putt on 13 inside a circle. I ended up missing it. But yeah, it was very unfortunate. And I think that's the second time I've DNF'd. The other time I DNF'd was right after Lyme disease, and I was on all that medication, and you're not supposed to be out in the sun. And I was in Kansas in the middle of summer trying to play. So I DNF'd there. And it was one of those things where it's like, I hate DNFing, obviously. And I was like, I'm not going to drop out. Like, obviously, what was I at?
You're at 14 over at the time.
No. I was less than that. I was like, let's see. Right when I knew I was pretty much done,
Oh, gotcha.
I was I was like 4 over after 6 when I knew like I can't throw backhands anymore.
Oh, gotcha.
Right. Could I have I guess I did DNF at Worlds with the Hornets too. Yeah, I guess I'm just a DNFer all the time. I DNF all over the place. But it's like, to me, it's like I knew I could still finish the round throwing forehands. So it's like, I'm just going to finish the round. But then to think about going out there tomorrow and just throwing forehands all day, like at that point, I'm like, I might jack up my shoulder.
Yeah, it's
my
not
right shoulder throwing
not
all
a
those.
good idea to do on that.
Trying to throw all those big forehand, unless I start just going dark horse forehand roller. So that was my tournament in a nutshell. Not what I was expecting, not what I was hoping. The hip is still an issue as of right now. It's such a weird movement. It's just like a rotation movement. So like in bed sometimes when I rotate from one side to the other and you kind of use your leg to like swing over, like that's where it really, really hurts. So I'm just kind of chilling right now, not doing too much rotational stuff, still lifting, still running, because that stuff doesn't bug it, but hopefully it kind of goes away sooner than later. So fun weekend.
Listen, that
fun weekend.
You're talking about the distance. When it gets windy, distance is a must. Distance is an absolute. It's a must. I was an absolute liability out there, man. It was like playing every open par, dude. It was crazy. It was crazy. I mean, I managed it well, and I thought the whole time like, oh, I'm gonna go on a streak. My biggest goal actually was to get 14 up the or 13. Yeah, 14 up the hill, the long one. I'm like, dude,
2 monsters.
I got this. Like even the final round, you know, I know I'm missing the cut. There's no hope at this point, and I'm like,
but just give yourself something.
Never made it to the top. Never made it to the top.
My biggest accomplishment is I parred hole 15, only going forehand, and I threw OB on my tee shot.
Wow.
Yeah. I went OB right on my tee shot, laced a nuke, threw everything way up there, and then laced another nuke.
Great hole.
Pin, like right by the basket. And I was like,
Great
gosh, dang. Such a good change. Such a good change.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's discuss. I kind of want to break down how do you guys want to do this? Do you guys want to go what happened in the final round and just kind of walk through some of the big highlights that I took out after watching it, and we can talk about it as we go? Or do you want to talk about the tournament as a whole and then do the final round at the end? What do you guys want to do first? Which should we do first?
As a whole.
Yeah.
Okay.
Shape the story.
Yep. When was the last? So the first storyline I have is, and we talked about it a little bit. When was the last time you guys saw the wind as bad as it was in round 2?
It's the windiest round we've had all year, for sure.
This year for sure, right? The only
Kansas City, we had a couple windy rounds.
You remember MVP with those thunderstorms that were rolling in?
That was last year, yeah. Or that was 2 years ago, I think.
2 years ago.
So this is for sure the windiest round of the year.
We were playing. I was playing with. It might have actually been round 1. Was it round 1? I was either round 1 or round 2. I was playing with Yessie. And he was hilarious because every tee pad, he's like, wow, headwind again. And it starts messing with you. Like the fact of like just how that course works.
No,
you just want to break from it. And you're like, okay, we just had a really hard headwind. Now we get a tailwind. And then you round the corner and all of a sudden you just got this wind in your face again. You're like, what the heck is going on?
I was dealing with that too. And it got so frustrating. That's why that's a mental course as well, is because there's no reading the wind, and you almost should like. One of my biggest, like, I think problems in my career is I overanalyze a lot of shit. So I'm like going through it, and I'm like, okay, the wind's coming this way, it's gonna drop my disc, and I'm analyzing like the exact everything, you know, down to the T of what's going to happen with the flight of my disc, or even with a putt. Like I'm expecting the wind to do what it's supposed to do.
Yeah. And
when it doesn't happen, I feel slighted. You know, no, I do. And it gets in my head to where like, I'm like, well, that's just unlucky. Cause you throw the grass up and you're like, see, for sure. I think we see that a lot with Gannon too, to where he'll poof his thing and be like, you see, I didn't miss that putt. It was a right to left.
It's the wind.
It should have done this. And he's probably right. Yeah. It should have. And so going through the round, I'm throwing shots and it's not acting the way it's supposed to act, because on the tee, even on hole 1, you'll feel the wind come this way, and clearly the flags are blowing 30 miles an hour.
Can we just say those are the
Yeah.
worst flags in the world?
They are.
We need real flags. Those
They are. Well, they're trained to go one way. So
That's what I'm saying.
even if
It's based off
blowing.
of-
It's like doesn't
right?
give you a real wind wave
It's based off of how they're put in the ground.
for sure. And so that
I
was
hate
a-
those flags. I hate
that
those
was a big problem because I felt like a lot of I was off with my wind reads a bunch. Like I'm
Yeah.
like, okay, this is what's happening. Throw the shot. No. And for me, I have to be exacto with how long the course is. Like one bet, if I throw an angle where I expect it to be a left to right crosswind and I get that off by a little bit, my disc is going left. I'm throwing a fast disc. It's going left if it's not a left to right crosswind, because I'm expecting for the first 100 feet for it to flip up and tilt because of the inertia of throwing whatever shot I'm doing. And I'm expecting it to get over, glide for the 300 feet, and then go left. And so that initial flight, if you throw it and it's actually a right to left as soon as it gets out of your hand, I look like an amateur because the thing's just going this way. And I'm like, wait, what?
Yeah, it's
'Cause
kind
it
of
flips
disgusting.
out there. It comes through all the valleys. And that's another reason why having power really gets you a long ways on that course, because you don't have to guess. You throw an overstable disc
Just
on
rip it.
anhyzer, and the thing, no matter if it's a right to left, left to right, or anything, it's going to carry the 380 feet and land kind of where you want. It'll just do this move. It'll do a little jumping move as it goes. And we saw that a lot if you watch coverage. Their discs are all jumping up and down, but not left to right.
Yeah.
Yeah, because this is flat. Yeah.
And so that was a big time factor, I felt like, through the whole tournament, including going in the final round and watching those guys play. If you watch Niklas, he was a little bit off. And I don't think it was because he was throwing horrible. I think it's because he wasn't getting the wind reads that he thought he was going to get, because typically, like the second day, especially when it was super windy, he threw some of the best shots I've ever seen.
Yeah,
But
he
when
shot 6 under, which was the third best round that day.
which for him, when it's crazy windy like that,
That's
it's
wild.
easier to read the wind, right? Like, when it's 50 mile an hour winds, 30 mile an hour gusts, what's happening.
Hole 2 was easier to know what the wind was doing round 2 was easier to know what the wind was doing than round 1. It was still way more challenging, but yes, you weren't having to guess, like, is my disc going to do this or not?
Yep. And so that, if you haven't seen it, go watch the second round on Jomez of Niklas throwing the disc, because I think it was one of the best displays of somebody in control of their disc and wins like that maybe I've ever seen.
Yeah, and really, I mean, impressive stuff from Calvin and Gannon, with Calvin shooting 9 under and Gannon shooting 9 under, different ways.
Crazy,
Gannon ended up birding 11 holes, 2 bogeys. Calvin on the windiest, like we were talking about, the windiest thing ever. 9 birdies, no bogeys. That is insane. That just not one errant shot got taken up and sent out, and missing a putt for par. Really, really crazy stuff. We do need to go back though to round 1, because I think one of the storylines that we completely forgot about was the fact that we got Macbeth back in the lead.
Yeah.
Like right where he left off, he's got a 2-shot lead over Calvin, 3 shots over Yona and Niklas going into round 2. A course that he's very comfortable with, very familiar with, has some very famous rounds out here. And now all of a sudden we're all thinking, okay, here we go. He's going to run it back. Ended up not being his weekend. He ends up struggling a little bit. I think he ended up, I think it was round 3, or final round was his biggest struggle, where he ended up shooting 2 under par, taking 2 bogeys and 2 doubles in the front 9 there. So, obviously 2 5-unders is just really good out there, but compared to the top of the field, 2 5-unders out there, you're going to be losing 10 strokes basically to the leaders. So he kind of got dropped very quickly from the leaderboard, but he's still in there. 11 under out there that's an impressive round. The other couple highlights I saw, Ricky's wild all threes round.
Yeah.
Have we seen anything like this?
No,
On like a
been
disc
long
golf
time.
pro tour course. Like if you go to like De La or like some shorter courses, I could see that, but like all threes across the board and getting the eagle on 15.
So the eagle was like from
That's
a spot.
wild.
Did you see where he threw that from? So I went out and I watched the FPO final round.
I think it was right where I was in one of my practice rounds, and I was like, you would have to be a psycho to try this.
So I walked over
Is
there
what
and
I
I
thought.
stood by it, and I was just like, he had to late flip it. It looks like on coverage that it's like turning the whole way, but you got to understand he's throwing with so much power. It's coming out on a little bit of Anheuser, but it's pushing straight for like 350 feet, 380 feet. And then it turns, and to bullseye it from there is like I said on coverage, it's like candidate for like shot of the year. That's how hard it is.
I wish we had a better angle because during I ended up my first practice round. I ended up there was a group of 5 or 6 people that were kind of slowing everyone down. So I was like, I'm not gonna wait and have a 5-hour practice round. So I jumped from hole 3 over to 14. And actually at the same time, that was when Goose and Ezra were playing. So I just jumped in with them and played the rest. And we get to 15, and I find my tee shot kind of similar into the same spot of where Ricky's was. And I just looked at Aaron, and because that was the first time I was playing the par 5, right?
Yeah.
And so I just looked at Aaron and Ez. I was like, you have to be an idiot to go down this right side, right? Like the play here is just chip, chip, birdie. They're like, oh, yeah, chip, chip, birdie. And I was like, oh, okay. And then, we got Ricky over here just showing us how it's done, which I got to say, I did get to play with him. I didn't talk much about him in round 1. He's playing really well right now. He is playing really, really well. I don't know what his health is at. Do you have any health updates, Yuli? Has he said anything
I think
to
he's
you?
still struggling a little bit, but I think it's getting better. So it's a wrist issue. And I honestly think kind of watching him down the stretch, and Germ actually noticed this on coverage, is like it might be the putt. It might be the putt that he's struggling with a little bit, because it looks like sometimes it's a little bit too nose down. And that has to do with, I think, at the end, like not getting the pop right. And so if you have some sort of wrist injury, like a full throw shouldn't affect it that much, right? But on your putting stroke with those fine motor skills,
that last little
pop, like you're not seeing him, I don't know, kind of commit. Like he thought he made that putt like on 17.
Oh yeah.
We'll get to, like, he thought that was in, and he only missed it by a little bit. But I think like the speed was what I was missing on that putt. Like he didn't really pop it.
He also had a few putts like that in my round of where I'm, obviously guys miss putts here and there. So you're not expecting every single one to go in, but there was a handful of times where, you just count in your head, Ricky's going to make that. And there was like 3 or 4 of them where he did not make it in my round. And so, that makes sense that maybe there is something lasting of where he's not getting the actual pop that he needs. But incredible round. And we'll get a little bit more into Ricky's performance here. I do want to ask you guys, how many mulligans would it take you to shoot this score, all threes on that course?
I'd still be on the course.
Okay. Gary's still on the course.
Oh, the most it would take me would be 15. Like getting around the corner into a spot where I could do that, I would think it would take me a lot of shots.
To eagle. You're almost having to probably play for like a throw in.
No, I can get there. Like in practice, I got to the base of the hill and I had like about a 45-footer up the hill. But I'm having to my drive has to drift from left to right and then hook up at the perfect spot to get around the corner and be in that left spot. Like kind of where Yona got his eagle from.
Yeah.
Like I was there in practice and then I got one to the bottom of the hill. So that's not really the issue. It's getting to that spot off the tee, which would, because I probably only have one disc that can fly like that. Like that I'm boosting, that gets the extra distance and the stability at the end. So if I had a bunch of those, I probably could get it pretty quick. But
yeah, the hardest thing with those,
for a while, I think
the hardest thing with the mulligan challenge is when you commit to because once you commit to a drive or a second shot or whatever it is, like you're locked
that
in.
spot.
So like that's the toughest thing is like you could be on 15 and throw that tee shot and be like, wait, is that good? Or, and then you commit to it and you get up there and you're like, oh crap, now I have to
Walk back and throw another one.
Yeah, now I have to really throw a freaking good one. Shout out to Gooseman. Gooseman had an insane round 3, shooting 13 under out there.
Nuts.
With not getting the eagle either, just 13 birdies.
Couldn't believe it when I saw it. I didn't think anybody was getting into the teens. No way. I would have bet the under on that if that was a prop bet.
Yep. Yeah, that is insane.
It was 100% on his fairway hits too. Hit every single one, didn't miss a single fairway.
Jeez.
90% C2 in regulation.
Yeah, I mean, when we talk about him being one of the best off the tee,
I've said it before on here. He is the best off the tee.
This is why. Insane. I think we have a video here from Kyle Klein just being an absolute madman. This is clearly someone that's in their low 20s, I'll say, because I think Yuli at our age, we are not thinking about ever attempting this shot. I think if we had the same spot he had, we'd be like, oh well, I guess it's going to be a standstill. And I love the little banter he had before with Paul. If we can get that Kyle Klein clip up. And while we're waiting for that clip, what do you guys think about the course changes? Yuli from a player's aspect, Gary from a viewer's aspect.
I liked all of them. I thought they were all fantastic. I especially like hole 10. I think it became one of the better holes on the course. I really do. Hole. It's a fantastic hole. 14 is great for everybody to watch involved. It's also great for the player. The only hole that I really, really can't stand is 16 on the course. I don't like that hole. I think it's a bad design. Yeah. I'm not a fan of hole 16 at all in any way. I don't think I ever have been. It's just not a good hole in my opinion. 18 I love. 17's fantastic. Hole 2, the new spot, it's okay. I think they could leave it up top, and it's a great hole.
Yeah. OB on hole 10, we already talked about that. New basket on 11.
11, yeah, I'm fine with it being in the other spot too, but I don't mind that change. I mean, I think it should be cleaned up a little bit more. I think it's a little fluky getting up in there on 12.
New basket on 12 was the other one.
12 is what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah, 11's the one that's dead 11, straight.
Yeah, 11, not that big a fan of. I think it was way easier, but I also think there's a lot of luck involved going into that bush and maybe getting a putt on the left.
For sure.
Some people are going in there and getting one. Some people aren't.
Then hole 15's new tee pad was the last change, which I think that par five is great. Would you have to, Gary?
Hole 10, I was curious. I know that some of the people talked about how the addition of the OB would also improve pace of play on that hole because a lot of the searching times. Did you see any difference in that, or was it kind of?
It was fine. I don't think there was a big problem with pace of play except for just slow people. I was waiting on hole 3 on almost every round.
Yeah, there was a 3-hole gap. I think it was round 1. There was a 3-hole gap, which is not great.
But it's not the worst. It wasn't like I was waiting a ton of time every single hole. It was just like, okay, I'm waiting again.
Yeah, you can't get to a tee and throw a shot, which is not fun for everyone. But
gotcha. The only other change I really liked was for the FPO on 14 moving their tee pad up to the base of the hill and letting them play up to the top where MPO finishes, allowing, I think, because a lot of the course, it felt like they shortened to make it a little bit easier for the FPO players who don't have the distance. But that hole was kind of a testament to, okay, distance throwers, we're kind of throwing you a bone here. You got to throw up this hill now. And it took the birdie rate on hole 14 for FPO from 50% last year to 25% this year. So it cut it right in half, letting the upper echelon of the field have a little bit of distance.
Did they play it as a par 5 from our tee pad? Is that what they used to do?
No, they had the basket at the base of the hill. So they never even traveled up the hill. It was just a 2-shot open field, nothing in the way
from the MPO's tee pad.
from the MPO
I
tee
didn't
pad.
know that.
Yeah, so
Interesting.
they made the hole, I think, a lot better for FPO that way.
And this might be this is probably a rare opinion, but I think hole 1 is bad. I think
it's not a good starting hole.
I think it's just a bad hole.
I love that they have the video up there so you can actually see it.
That's
I think
super cool.
That definitely helps.
The hum is a little loud though.
I just think like giving everybody a specific shot. There's what was there, like 5 birdies, then there was I think 10 birdies, and then there was like 10 birdies. Like that's just for a starting hole. I don't know. It being blind and everything, I think the OB.
I mean, we're all just chucking shots out there and just hoping the wind
for sure
brings the disc
to
out
me,
there.
Not a lot of skill involved. And then if it gets windy, which it typically does out there, pretty windy, like I'm chucking to the bottom of the hill along with almost everybody on my card, just trying to get a par.
Yeah.
Which I
one thing I will say about FPO sometimes I feel, to Gary's point of where they shorten the hole. There's like, okay, this hole's too long for FPO. Let's just shorten it. Sometimes it completely removes what the hole is, right? And so I think hole 7 is 8. Hole 7, 8. Hole 8 is a good example of this, where our tee shot is through basically a rectangle, and we got to try to get it out left, and we're throwing over OB the whole time, and it's a pretty scary tee shot. And then they basically just don't have any sort of gap at all to hit. They're just through the whole gap, and so they're just throwing like a stock. You see what I'm saying? Like it just seems like sometimes by them playing shorter holes, it like misses the whole difficulty of the hole. And to me, it's like they got to find a way, and maybe it is where it's, I guess, it's super challenging, and ideally probably another course probably suits them better, of where can you still have that trickiness to the hole, where sometimes really it feels like we're throwing a 450-foot shot where we got to throw it through like 3 gaps, and they're throwing like a 300-foot shot through 1 gap.
Yeah.
And it just completely changes. And I don't know how you fix that. I think it's very, very challenging to do, but it's something I've noticed.
Another thing, a good testament to how it can be effective and not effective is like you look at hole 12, the new pin position for MPO didn't really have it didn't have a lot of effect on score from like last year to this year, but the new pin for FPO, it destroyed. Only 1 birdie was carded between both rounds they played it, and it was a 55-foot basically throw in from Lisa Fakis. So
which is crazy because that hole's like 280 feet.
Yeah. They were saying, I think they said on coverage on Joe Mez that it plays like 360, 370 uphill the whole way. But it's interesting to see how like you make one change on hole 12 and obliterate any birdie opportunity. And it's like you feel one way about it. And then 2 holes later, you make a change that cuts out 25% of birdie opportunities, but it feels like a good change because it makes the hole harder in a more acceptable way. So like it just finding a place where FPO fits on these layouts is so tough sometimes.
Yeah, it was interesting. They were talking about the hole I was talking about, hole 7, I think, when I was watching FPO coverage. The commentators talked about how like easy that hole was. And Gary, if you want to back this up with the stats, I think it probably was the easiest hole out there. Was it? Is it 8? Am I thinking of 8? I'm thinking of 8.
Yeah, 7 was one of the hardest.
Yeah, sorry guys. I'm thinking of 8. 8's got to be one of the easiest holes out there as far as birdies, like the amount of birdies.
Second easiest. It had the second highest birdie rate of 58%, only behind hole 13, which was 60%.
Oh, and they played as a par 4. Yeah. So they were, which I find it very interesting. The commentators were talking about how they wish nothing changes to that hole. They're like, oh, I love this hole. And I think it kind of goes back to the old like disc golf mentality of like just wanting to birdie everything. Yeah. We're like, that's a bad FPO hole.
Yeah, it's not a good hole from there.
You just throw like a 250-foot chip forehand, and then throw like
Or
a little
backhand,
upshot.
whatever you want. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. So I don't really understand why they want to keep holes where it's like everyone or like what 60% of the field can birdie, and we're talking about some people that are shooting way over par too that are birding these holes.
Do you think that this is another event similar to Ledgestone where maybe the FPO would be better suited to go play like a black locust layout at a course like that and not come play Toboggan? Or do you think there's a salvageable FPO layout on this course?
I think it's fine.
Okay.
Honestly.
Yeah, I think they can fix it. There's a couple holes. I think they can fix them.
Okay.
Yeah, I thought it was good.
Like hole 1, they should not be throwing from the same tee as us.
No.
Yeah. Hardest hole.
Hole 1 shouldn't be there. I just got done saying that.
Yeah.
Hole 1, I remember when they did 2 placements a couple years ago?
Yeah, they did one off to the left side.
The left side placement way better.
Yeah, it's also harder too.
Deal. Make it harder.
Yeah. No, I don't mind it. You can see it off the tee too, which is not that bad for fans. All right, I think we have this Kyle Klein clip. I don't know if you guys saw this. This was on hole finest. This was on hole 17.
Not far off from where Eagle threw that. Oh, we lost him. That's gonna get beeped. What a shot, though! Oh my goodness! What?
How is he on his feet?
I don't think he was there the whole time. I think he just got back there.
We just lost Kyle Klein. He's falling out of the bottom of the camera.
That was an amazing clip. But seriously, also an amazing shot from Kyle. Whoop, whoop, whoop.
the other, I think I don't know if there is another angle. Mike, let me know if there's another angle. I think someone was filming up and you can just see how far down he went, but definitely one of those shots that Yuli, I don't think we're attempting.
No, I'm dead. I'm tearing something there. I'm chipping.
That's terrifying. His lead foot or like his follow through foot just doesn't land on anything and just falls down. Crazy shot too. Crazy shot as well.
Yeah.
Anything else stick out? Those were the big ones that stuck out as far as like things that weren't final round. Anything else stick out to you guys during DGLO? Final round? Let's do final round.
Yeah.
All right. Yuli, you were pretty harsh on him in Jomez coverage, but I think it's fair. I think it's fair criticism. If you're Calvin, you just cannot start your round that way. If you're trying to win a tournament, he clanks his birdie putt on hole 1 inside of C1, and then he goes straight to hole 2 and clanks it again, throws it in the cage again. What's going through your head here if that happens to you?
It's fine. The first hole, and I mentioned it on coverage. That's fine. You missed the first one. Sometimes it's a good thing. Not going to do that again. I'm going to go through the round. This whole it was a weird round because everybody that had a chance actually missed easy putts, semi-easy putts for their skill level. And so it wasn't like, to me, it wasn't a tournament where somebody just ended up taking it. It was like somebody who just kind of fell into the win. Like if we really break it down, Calvin made a lot of little silly mistakes on the putting green, a lot of them, and it ended up costing him kind of down the stretch.
And he played great in the back 9, 8 under through the back 9.
But he started off so poorly.
3 for 7 in C1X for Calvin in the final round.
And that's just not going to get it done. It's just not going to get it done. But we look at Gannon, and he missed 2 in the circle as well. And that's a rare thing for him. And then we watched Ricky miss the 1 too. It came down, in my opinion, to hole 16, which is why I knew it was going to come down to 16 and how that hole is so fluky. I mean, Gannon has thrown the shot out of bounds every single time left. Then he gets to the tee and he makes.
Well, hold on, you're getting ahead of ourselves a little bit. We'll get to 16. I want to get to the
brass tacks.
I know. We'll get to 16 in a second. We got a couple more things to talk about before 16. We got to talk about Jake Hemenheimer's breakout performance here.
Yeah.
First 6 holes.
Well, that's part of it. That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Yeah. First 6 holes, Hemenheimer's throwing the crap out of the disc. There was a couple times where it was a little bit of a loose shot, like hole 4, he almost goes OB long, and you're like, all right. Or hole 5, he almost goes OB long. You're like, all right, this is where he's going to miss this. I think from there it's probably right around 40 feet.
Yeah.
He's probably going to miss this birdie putt. Bangs it, just making huge putts. Let me remind everyone, not that long ago, this guy was horseshoe putting, a putt that we've never seen before. This guy, if you go to your family barbecue and your uncle is over there, Uncle Jed, and he's like, hey, throw me the disc. He's putting the way that Uncle Jed is, from the hip. I mean, it's crazy the kind of growth we've seen with Hemenheimer with his putts. I mean, he was drilling putts the entire round. And I think it's no secret at this point. The dude's got an absolute cannon.
Yeah.
Backhand, forehand, doesn't matter. The dude absolutely rips the thing and was just ripping it all over the place. Do you guys have anything to say about Hemenheimer?
But for the whole tournament, I mean, look at his throwing statistics.
Insane.
I think he had to have been leading the field in bullseyes. Has to.
Insane.
Because watching the highlights from the second or the third round, the dude was just tapping it in upside down. Like he's literally tapping the putter in upside down. He's so close.
Such a good week of disc golf for him. And the thing that I was, because we've seen this before, Yuli, where like people will have a great round as far as like throwing goes. They're throwing great shots, and then all of a sudden, like an hour and a half in the round, they've got a 30-footer. And they've hadn't had a 30-footer since the practice green. And it's like, those are the ones where you're like, all right, he's going to miss it. He didn't miss those. He was making everything and just was really the one that was kind of applying the pressure early on.
It was his tournament to win it down the stretch. It really was. He was caught up to the guys. They were one hole behind him. And he
playing
was
the same hole.
And he was leading, yes.
A testament to how to your call out about his bullseye stats. If you look at the total putt distance of the top, all the people tied for second and first, you've got Gannon at 1,313 feet, Ricky at almost 1,200, Calvin at 1,139. Heebs only got to 955 feet of total putt distance.
Wow!
So he just was that much closer the whole weekend.
We saw some putting struggles again from Nicklaus. Never good to see. We all love his throwing style. He's got one of the best angle control on tour, and just struggled. Could not get the disc in the basket. Went 7 of 9 from Circle 1X. 0 of 6 from Circle 2. He wasn't off by a lot. He was clanging them. Off the band, side chains here and there. And so that pretty much like shot him out of the tournament pretty early on, to where it became a 3-person race, right? It was going to be either Gannon, Ricky, or Hemenheimer. Pretty much we kind of knew that early on because he kind of shot himself out of the race. Ricky just comes out crazy. Front 9, 7 under par. Goes OB on his tee shot on hole 7, no problem. That's fine. I'll get up and down, save par. Goes OB on his tee shot on hole 10, no problem. I'll get up and down, save par, which was an insane up and down on hole number 10. So he's just playing at this point. He's spraying shots a little bit, Yuli, right? Hole 7 was not a great tee shot. Hole 10 was not a great tee shot, but it doesn't really matter. He's playing out of his mind.
Big putt on 10. Big putt on
massive
10.
putt.
Yeah.
And then Gannon Buhr starts very solid, 6 under. And I think you hit the nail on the head. One thing when I was watching back Jomez, you said Gannon Buhr is like a no highlights guy. And I think that's maybe a kind of a good way of describing his game. He's not going to do a Kyle Klein and fall off a cliff while throwing a shot. He's not going to do a Ricky Wysocki where he chucks one OB super early and then throws an insane to save his par. The dude's just so consistent. He's just going to chip.
He's getting more and more boring. He's like he's
just chipping away
in our game. He's a Scotty Scheffler. Like he just does everything fantastic, everything across the board. And Macbeth back in the day had that a little bit, but Macbeth had some flair. I don't see a lot of flair from Gannon. Like for example, his putting is so dang consistent.
So good.
And so easy on the eyes that when he misses from 40 feet, we're like, ooh, that's kind of bad. Like, that wasn't good. And it's no, you put Hebenheimer in that same spot, and if he misses it, nobody cares. It's just like, oh, he missed it. But with Gannon, it's a lot different. You know what I mean? Because he's so good at it that he makes everything look so easy. And he, like, in the circle's almost automatic. From a knee, he misses from 55 feet, and we're kind of surprised that he doesn't catch metal.
I think the best analogy here is Gannon Buhr is the 6'9" guy that's in the dunk contest. He's doing super impressive dunks. Like he's doing very high level, challenging dunks. But because he's 6'9" versus the 5'10", the 6 foot guy,
you want to see the gap. You want to see the gap that they're jumping.
It doesn't look as cool. It doesn't.
Yeah.
Like he throws shots just as far sometimes as AB. But like when AB does it, AB's got a little bit more, of where it's like, oh, look, this guy's throwing far. And Gannon's just like, and it's just like 550, 5'6", and so
makes it look so casual.
I think that's what it is. I think he's the 6'10" guy that's in the dunk contest that's going like between his right leg, between his left leg, behind the back, and everyone's like, yeah, it's all right.
Yeah, it's a 10. It's kind of a 10. We're not going to give you a 10.
And here's the thing. I don't think he gives a rip.
No,
I don't think he cares at all.
No, and you know what the thing is with Gannon that he's getting to is he's at that point where people are just going to hand him tournaments. And that's what happened here. He walked his way into this one. Like when we look at the front nine and we're like, Ricky was on fire and he shot 7 under on the front nine. Gannon didn't play that great and shot 6.
Yeah.
He made 6.
Yeah.
He shot 6 under. So he's right there. But then coming down the stretch, if we can skip to the
the only other thing I really had was Gannon did open the door a couple times. Mm-hmm. And this is where you're talking about the missed putts. Hole 12, Gannon misses a putt where we're all like, what the heck was that, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then Calvin right after to put some pressure on him. Calvin misses a putt. And it's just like that would
let Ricky off the hook, who threw a horrible drive.
Yep. Ricky, I think it was we gotta before we get to 16 too, we gotta show this shot by Nicholas on hole 13. Yeah. This shot.
Oh, yeah.
It didn't go in, but had it, I think Big Germ said it perfectly, might have been the best ace of all time. To get a backhand to this green is insane. To actually have an ace run on it.
Keep coasting. Yeah. If it's clean, it's great. If it's clean, it's going in.
Oh, no way.
Oh, my gosh.
6 inches from magic is the
For those
Finnish
that have
cowboy.
never played, we can maybe do away with this Finnish cowboy commentary. But for those that have never played hole 13, just getting to that open area with a forehand, a back, with anything, a roller,
especially
you're stoked. Just getting into some sort of open space, you're so stoked. And the fact that he came in basket height, got to give our props to Nicholas. Crazy shot. So we've got Ricky tying for the lead at 29 under after hole 13. Which now all of a sudden we're like, all right, Ricky, Gannon going back. Hebenheimer's still up there, but he's a couple holes ahead of them. And then Ricky immediately, Yuli. And this is where you're talking about, Kai's just letting kind of Gannon off the hook. Hole 14, Ricky immediately shanks his tee shot.
The way
just immediately shanks it.
Are playing this hole is mind blowing to me. It is.
Hole 14?
I thought Macbeth was playing it the right way. Getting in position and then ripping it up the hill. And
that's what Calvin was doing, but he wasn't trying to do that. He was just turfing his tee shot. And it was working for him.
Macbeth doesn't throw as far as these guys. No. Ricky and Gannon and Who else was on the
Hebenheimer was ripping
Calvin.
it. Calvin was ripping
Calvin.
it.
Like, they have the power to throw their most overstable hard just past the tee pad, and then it's a full shot from there.
And it takes OB out of play completely.
100%.
Yep.
And I watched them all make mistakes with it. I watched all of them make mistakes with it. Like, Macbeth should be trying to get extra distance off the tee, and
because it is 2 full
because
shots.
it's 2 full shots. But these other guys shouldn't be. Like Ricky throwing anything with Heiser down that left side, and it could be the injury. I don't know, but the thing had no chance of going anywhere. It would have been out of bounds he would have had to make a 50-foot correction, 50-foot right. And so I don't know. I felt like that was
I didn't really think about that, but
mistake by those guys to where you don't need a lot.
They have the distance.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it takes away that OB for sure. Question for you guys: does Gannon Buhr hate children?
He loves Legos, so he has to like children to a certain degree.
Because he drilled a kid in the back on hole 14. Just drills a kid in the back.
Yep.
Yes.
Not sure if that was on purpose. We'll have to ask him about that. But kid just gets absolutely drilled in the back. And I do have to say, if you are a spectator, always jump away from inbounds versus jumping inbounds. Ideally, right? And then Ricky, we talked about it a little bit. Ricky was just playing hole 15 differently than everyone else this entire weekend because he had to go for the eagle after taking the bogey on 14. Just crazy. I mean, he thought he could make that putt too in that bush. He had a little window.
Yeah, we saw AB make it a couple days before, actually, from the same spot, pretty much.
Yeah, so crazy that he is able to get eagle looks on that hole. All right, now we're on hole 16.
Yeah,
we have made it to hole 16. Jake goes. Jake's at this point. I think he's probably 1 hole ahead of them. Like they've caught up to where he's basically playing the hole.
Jake's still at the point where if he goes birdie to finish, he probably, for sure, I would say he probably would. I keep saying for sure and probably, I don't know exactly where they were, but I almost positive if he birdies out, the best that the lead card could do is tie.
Yeah, because he's on 17, he's at 29 down, tied, I believe, with Ricky at that point, who hadn't played 16 yet.
So if he birdies out, he's going to be the champion.
If Gannon doesn't all of a sudden just say I've got to now birdie out.
No, but same thing, yes. I think he just ties. I think they both tie.
Yeah.
If he birdies, he would finish at 32,
31.
33. He'd finish at 33.
Yeah.
So Gannon would have had a birdie 17, 18 to tie him. Ricky would not have been able to tie.
Yeah.
So birdieing out puts a lot of pressure on Gannon here.
Right.
He throws the mistake that we see a lot on 16, right? You throw it a little too high, a little too Heiser, and it's just not going to get to flat, and it just floats OB left. And, that's what happens. And then we all of a sudden get Gannon up there, and Gannon just drills the tree. And this is probably where you're going to say you don't like the hole, Yuli, of where that tree. Because when I played the hole and when I saw it, I was like, this is a great design. Because I think people that hit that tree should get punished. You drop down, your OB. Makes a lot of sense. Well, it's tough when discs can go through that tree. And not all discs are the same, right? Because this is my boards. I know people don't want to hear it, but this is what I'm talking about. Boards. You have boards there. Hits the board, drops OB every time. There's no question. But that's the tough part because
the other tough part is going left of the tree, isn't it? Nobody's aiming for the left of the tree either. And some are going out of bounds and some are staying in bounds going left. Hebenheimer's safe barely on the left side, or out of bounds barely on the left side. I saw plenty of people go left and be safe. Gannon went out of bounds left 3 times in a row. Makes the correction, goes directly into the pine tree, parks the hole. Well, doesn't park it, but ends up birdieing the hole. And I don't know. I I don't like that shot is going to net you a birdie, and somebody who peers the correct gap and goes out of bounds by a foot behind it is a worse shot, because that out of bounds is really tight on the backside. And so what here's my philosophy with this. The course designer is telling you, commit to the middle. If you commit to the middle, then you're probably going to be in bounds. Okay. But because they put the OB back there, nobody's committing to the middle. That's a really tough ask for a pro. And so they're missing early and they're going early left. Well, some are now inbounds and some aren't. So it's a fluky little thing that they're doing on the left side. And then the people who hit the pine tree, most everybody who goes, that's the
Most
only one that I'm not mad that Gannon made it through there. I do think it was very, very lucky, and I think he won the tournament because of it, but that's the way that it goes. Some people get lucky and win tournaments. It's you need a little luck involved.
I do have some other lucky shots.
I'm not
from that final round.
Yes.
I want to just mention there were some lucky breaks. Ricky got a very lucky break off the boards that I don't know why those are on hole 13, but there's boards ad wall to the right of hole 13. His shot would have been way up into that crap and probably had a very tough putt. He hits the boards, gets back. Hebenheimer gets super lucky on his tee shot on hole 17 because the same bush that we saw Holland go into and have nothing, Hebenheimer goes right in the middle and somehow it funnels out to where at least he has actually a second shot to maybe.
I'm not so sure that's that lucky. I think I was in the middle of the bush and I found a way to get down.
Holland had to pitch out. That same bush, Holland had to pitch backwards.
I know.
I'm just throwing out there.
I know she did. I'm just saying I've been in the bush. There's ways out of the bush, and that's a smart thing for her to do. But I guarantee if she wasn't trying to win the tournament, she's going through the bush.
And then Calvin got super lucky on his second shot on hole 17, where he skipped off the branches towards the basket. So there was some lucky shots by everyone that was in contention.
Right.
But it's
I'm
tougher
talking about the design.
No, I know.
The design of 16 and why it's
that,
bad. It's pushing more luck onto the players.
That wasn't directed towards you. That was directed towards the people that might come after us as a podcast saying, "Oh, Gannon got lucky. That's why he won."
I covered that up saying people get lucky.
Yeah, but people are still going to come after you. I was trying to have your back by saying everyone got a little lucky. Everyone got a little lucky.
He's flashing the ring.
So what would you like to see at Worlds? Because he's going to hold Worlds next year. What would you like to see 16 at Worlds?
Just put the out of bounds in front of the pine. Don't have the lucky pine tree as out of bounds.
What about OB long?
I don't. OB
long's okay still.
I'm saying the mental philosophy behind this is if you hit that pine tree and you sit down, and you're in bounds probably, you're going to be able to commit more. And if you commit more, you're going to have better shots.
So just take away the little flukiness of hitting that pine and being safe and hitting that pine and being OB.
I think so.
By moving the OB line 10 feet shorter.
Right.
Gotcha.
Because in the past, it hasn't been out of bounds, and I've seen it. It's very rare you see people even hit the pine, and when they do,
I know it's so funny because I literally saw that and I was like, I love this change.
No, I like it. I like the idea behind it, but seeing it play out in real life,
it does change your mind because you're like, shoot, that's not how that's supposed to work.
But then if you're gonna leave it like that, Brody, how about we put the out of bounds a little bit farther into the shrubbery behind the basket, because that's really close. And then of course the stupid drop zone. What are these putt drop zones, dude?
Don't get me started with putt drop zones. I've gone off putt drop zones.
I know.
I've been trashing putt drop zones since COVID.
I think it's silly. I think that we move the putt drop zone. Leave the hole the same, move the putt drop zone, and I'm even happier.
I agree. The putt drop zone is just super anticlimactic in my point. Some make sense. They love the one at hole 8 at MVP, right? Yep. Because you're in with the crowd. That's fine.
Same with 14. It's the same deal. They put it right there in the crowd,
Yeah.
back at the water. It
just puts so much more emphasis on people that are good at putting and takes away.
Yeah.
Like you can save par without throwing a disc in bounds.
Yep.
Which is crazy to me.
And remember my argument, like this is not a shot. There's
Yeah.
no skill involved doing this. Aiming at the ground and sliding it up.
Yep.
Like there's no skill.
Yep.
You got to
saying, oh, this is your skill, your mental capability of not going for the putt and deciding to just chuck it at the ground and throw a 2-footer. Like that's your shot is a mental shot. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you got to force. I think you got to force them to have to throw the shot.
Yeah,
don't just get it on the green.
They should advance to the FPOT pad. So on hole 8, they should move up to the front.
Yes.
Yeah.
And hole 14 move to the FPOT pad.
And think about all the holes that we really like that don't have the USDGC hole 17, no drop zone. Hole 16
do after you have to putt for
a bajillion times. Hole 16 at the Beast, no drop zone, right? Like a lot of these big holes that we really, really like don't have the putting drop zone. I even think, we were talking about Ledgestone a little bit. I think Ledgestone hole 17, that hole all of a sudden becomes a lot more interesting if there's no putting drop zone, right? It just changes it.
Didn't 16 have a putting drop zone a few years ago?
They at European Open, they put it in the back, and you could just lame.
It was the double drop zone hole.
All right, so Gannon once again opens the door for Ricky. Hole 17, misses his birdie putt. Ricky's lining up, and we're all thinking, "Oh, here we go," and just doesn't get it in.
No.
And it doesn't look like a bad putt.
No, it was not even an inch. It wasn't even an inch, guys. It was.
Yeah.
When I first saw it, I thought it was more egregious than it was. And then when they do the replay and you see that he literally hits the very, very, very top squares it. Like he's not missing by a ton there.
Yeah, that one's
But you do have to make that putt. I thought that was the story of the week is like nobody, like I said, everybody was kind of handing it to each other for the skill level that they were playing, for the 13, 10 unders, 9 unders that they're shooting out there. Like, I don't know, Calvin missed a bunch of putts. Ricky ends up missing, in the circle there at the end, and Gannon as well.
Especially after his drive on 17. I thought when he boosted that path like 80 feet past Gannon's, I'm like, Ricky's about to step on someone's throat. Like he's going to take this his round for himself. But yeah.
Did Paul have a putt like that late to win? Like, did he have a pressure? I'm trying to remember. Did he have a pressure putt like that late
to win?
When he won. Yeah, when he won, was there a putt that he had? I'm trying to think. 17, he just laid up.
I think it was
turf.
15. He had a really good putt, the one up the hill.
Yeah,
I think he knocked down a big one, and then 16 was the par 5 he laid up.
But 15 was kind of a big putt. It wasn't like a 27-footer. You know what I'm saying?
It was
a big.
That's what I'm.
And then 17, 18, they both kind of missed.
And then 18, he just threw a really good second shot. Like,
there was
he didn't have like a 25, 27-footer to think about down the stretch. I'm wondering, is Ricky thinking in that moment? Because it's way different.
Yeah,
we all know. We all know it's way different. But I'm saying we all know it's way different. Like the shot that Paul threw on hole 18, his second shot, yes, incredible shot. But you're already like moving. You're getting going. It's a little bit easier to commit to the shot than a putt. You're just sitting there. And I'm wondering, is like Ricky thinking, I haven't won. It's been 14 years of me winning. Like, are any of those thoughts you think are coming into his head at that moment?
I thought he took a little extra time on it. That can be a good thing and a bad thing. I thought he took a little extra time on it. I thought Gannon looked pretty uncomfortable on his putt, and that's a really tough putt up the hill because like sitting on that, your footing's all weird. Yeah. And Ricky was kind of backed up against the bushes too, and he's a big dude, and his putt takes like a lot of movement, like his back foot kind of comes up, and I thought that could be a problem. But yeah, I'm sure
I'm just wondering if any of those thoughts kind of came into his head. If he's like, I'm so close, this is my moment.
I think so. But like I said, he missed it by so little. Like it wasn't like he missed it left, he missed it right, he missed it egregiously high.
Yeah.
Like he missed it kind of in the sweet spot of like 1 inch higher. And because that's so nose down, it's not coming out anyway. I don't know. Yeah, I thought it. I mean, pressure got to Gannon on that same hole, and then the pressure got to Ricky, and that happens down the stretch.
Let's talk about hole.
In a while.
Let's talk about hole 18, because at this point in time, the tournament is not over. Ricky birdies hole 18, Gannon pars or bogeys. I mean, Gannon bogeys hole 18, Ricky wins, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So definitely not over. I believe Gannon bogeyed the day before. Going roller, OB, not being able to get up and down.
Yep.
What are our thoughts on him going roller again on that hole?
Well, also don't forget,
psychopath.
You've Hebenheimer in the clubhouse at 30. So like even no matter what Ricky does,
that is
30
true.
Is the mark.
Yeah,
so Gannon has to par to win.
Yeah, roller's nuts.
The roller there is psychopathic.
It's so crazy.
It's.
I thought he lost. I thought as soon as he pulled it out, I'm like, oh, it's over. Like he's gonna lose the tournament to Ricky right here. Like it's so crazy to me that he threw that shot. I can't,
especially when he took a second disc to the tee pad. I thought, he's second guessing.
He had the sidearm to get to the top, and he's so good at it.
Yeah.
Here's the thing with the roller on that hole. I will be the first to tell you, if I can cheat a hole by throwing a roller, I'm throwing a roller every time. I don't want any business throwing that roller. I think there was one year where I was like, it was maybe my second practice round, and I was like, everyone was talking about roller, and I was like, all right, I got to try it. And I just freaking drilled the first tree, and I was like, I'm not throwing roller here. Guys, the way that hole is lined up with those trees, you have to yank. Not only it has to be understable, but you can't just throw I like throwing flat or hyzer rollers, Yuli, where it comes out and then it flips in the air. You can't do that here. You got to rip something over. That is such an uncomfortable shot. Yeah. It's such a scary shot to throw. And the fact that he goes OB the day before, comes back the next day, and lays down one of the better rollers I've seen on that hole. That's impressive stuff.
Oh, it's the best roller.
That's impressive stuff.
Yep.
For sure. I mean, you can't get to a better spot. He won the tournament with that stop. He stepped on their necks.
I mean,
he said it was the shot. He's been asked about it left, right, and center, and birdied hole 18 rounds 1 and round 2, and I think he felt like he kind of had a vendetta against hole 18 after round 3 because he said after hole 18 he was extremely frustrated in round 3. So didn't think for a second, but I was nervous when I saw him take a second disc to the tee pad because I'm like, you don't want to be thinking about this one. But
yeah,
impressive
stuff. He's able to chip his way, and it is one of those things of where, man, when it's a 4-round tournament, it's tough to beat this guy because he even said he's like, I didn't really play that well this week.
Yeah,
which is he's won so much, right? Where you have to believe him. You have to believe that he didn't feel like he played.
I'm watching it real time. It doesn't look like he's playing that good. It looks like he's kind of going around. Like when Gannon Buhr is playing good at this point, he's like not missing anything ever.
Yeah, and we all have those rounds where we get off and we're like, oh man, if we would have made this putt, if we would have hit this gap, we would have shot this. And you kind of have to be a little realistic and be like, that's like a 1 in 100 chance of me actually having that round. Gannon has those rounds 50% of the time.
Probably more. Yeah.
Probably more. Right. And so
he's averaging ratings wise so high to where if you go down as far as that goes, or let's just say course records, how many course records does this guy have across the board? He shoots a course record almost every time he tees it up. You know, or he's like within 1-2 of the course record. Somebody else shoots the course record playing with him, and then he shoots the same round he just shot.
I mean, that's the crazy thing is how hard this course was playing with the wind. You see people, you know, let me just pull Paul, because you know Paul shoots 11 under, then shoots 5, 2 under, right? Then you look at someone like let's do another one. Let's do Ricky. Ricky was pretty consistent all week too. He shot 7, then had a 2 under round, 12, 9. And then you go to Gannon, you're like, all right, well, what'd Gannon do? Gannon did 9, first round 5, 9, 8, 9. I mean, the dude is just like, his margin of error is just so much smaller. And I'm not a ratings person. We all know this, but it is the statistics. If you want, I think there's way better statistics out there, but if you want to look at it, Yuli, it's kind of a crazy stat. He's 1062. The next guy's 1050.
No, he's not just 1062. Now look at the rest of the field and how often do they shoot 1062 in their career? Like if you go through my career, had a long career, 600 and something tournaments. Okay, how many rounds?
I don't think have I ever shot over 1060.
like if you just could do it as that is, you know what I mean? Like, dude, I don't even shoot his average ever. Like, in order to beat him, not only do I have to.
I've shot over 1062 twice.
I've had
that's
wild.
wild.
Maybe 3 tournaments in my life averaging over 1062. 3 tournaments in my lifetime.
Oh, that's hilarious.
For most players, I feel like if they were to average 1062 over just 2 rounds in any event, they would be candidates to win. Like, it's just,
well, no, it's probably going to be their best tournament. Like, if you take the field, except for the top 5 guys, it'll probably be their best tournament that they've ever had ever. And they're probably going to get beat. Like, in order to win on the tour nowadays, you have to, that's his average. So you have to minimum shoot that.
Yeah.
In order to even have a chance to win the tournament, because he's probably averaging above that for the most part.
The crazy part is that he has an even more uphill run to make, because last year in the month of September across 15 events, he averaged 1067 disc golf.
Wow.
Jeez.
It's nuts.
Jeez. Yeah. Crazy stuff. All right. Anything else with MPO, or we want to run through FPO?
Let's run through it.
I have one question.
Oh, yeah.
As a question I've been passing around, heard them say it. They cut to AB at one event, and a commentator made the point. Who's the man with the highest ceiling? And I just want to get your opinions, your thoughts. AB Gannon, highest ceiling golf.
Yeah, it's AB.
Yeah, I think it's AB, just because he does have Gannon beat.
That doesn't mean you're going to be the best. It doesn't. It's like the Aaron Rodgers thing, like or Matt Stafford. Like, if you do the eye test and you watch him throw the ball, and then you watch Patrick Mahomes throw the ball or Tom Brady, it's an obvious like who's better at throwing the ball. But we're not playing that game. We're playing a full-on 18 holes of who is going to look boring and shoot the best scores, and that's Gannon. So
now the only thing though is I think we are saying highest ceiling, but Yuli, I think what we're doing right now is we're doing physical highest ceiling.
Yeah,
because mentally Gannon might actually have a higher ceiling than AB.
He might have the best disc golf game I've ever seen ever.
Yeah, so it might be physical wise if you're just going off of physicalness.
I'm with you. Yes, that's why I said watch him throw the ball.
Yeah.
And when you watch AB throw the disc compared to Gannon, there's something a little bit different. And you can ask Gannon that. Gannon will tell you, like, nobody throws it like this kid.
Yeah, for sure. Do want to give, before we go into FPO, guys, do want to give a quick speedy recovery, hopefully, to Alden Harris. I don't know if you guys saw this.
Yeah.
He got rear-ended really weird story. He was parked just on the curb outside of, I guess, Airbnb or house or whatever he was staying at, and just got rear-ended and pretty nasty looking. Like I mean, he's got a big car there. That's a pretty fast moving vehicle into the back. So he was playing in the cart in front of me during round 2, and he tried to play as much as he could. I think he dropped out like hole 14 or 13 or something. So hopefully he heals up. And I think he was saying, I think it's back issues. I think what he was saying.
Yeah, tweaked his back.
Yep.
And neck. Yeah, some discomfort also in his neck.
Probably some whiplash too.
Geez. So hopefully that gets taken care of, and he's back at it for the playoffs and for USDGC coming up. All right, FPO, big storylines that I have. We see Paige Pierce jumping back into the action. Course that we have seen her have a lot of success on as well. Leader in the clubhouse after round 1. Very, very interesting round 1. It was almost like a time warp where you got Paul Macbeth leading in NPO. You got Paige Pierce leading in FPO. Shooting 9 under the first round. 4 shots clear of Misty Gannon. And Holland Hanley also in the clubhouse with 9 under that first round. Other things that jumps out at me, Silva shooting 10 under, I think was a big highlight. Very impressive.
Yeah.
I don't know what the second highest round out there was, but no one was even sniffing 10 under towards the leaders the final round. So very, very impressive stuff to take second place.
Oh, she was an absolute candidate to win the thing going down the stretch with 17 or 16, 17, 18. She was in the clubhouse very early. And all of a sudden, a couple bogeys, like Missy had to par to win.
Well, Missy kind of put her in position because Silva actually birdied the last 4, and Missy played 3 over through the last 4.
Yeah.
So
going into 18, though, she had to par.
It did get a little tight there for sure. Silva's putt's disgusting.
Yeah.
I don't know how many times I've said it on this podcast. It just looks so effortless. It's so fun to watch. Yeah. She was making putts all over the place. And a lot of, FPO players that struggle to get the power in their putt, they have to like throw that kind of flex putt. That flex putt doesn't really work that well uphill. And Silva's just ripping these putts up these hills. Mm-hmm. Really, really impressive stuff. First question I have for you guys, though. Do we know any information on Holland? Did Holland injure her shoulder or anything like that? There was some weird stuff going on, like kind of almost like looking like she's trying to like loosen it up during that final round. Do we know any information on Holland's shoulder?
At the end of the tournament, she just said that she lost her forehand. She lost it. Like during the final round, she lost the forehand. I didn't hear about any injuries, and that was just like right after the tournament. She was talking to somebody next to me and was like, "Yeah,
okay.
Just lost the forehand." So I don't know if it was injury or what. That's the only information I have.
Gotcha. So the highlights of the final round I have here: Missy and Holland both through 9, 5 shots ahead of Silva. So the tournament looked pretty much between those two, but obviously Silva did what Silva did at the end. Holland watching just made a lot of errant throws. Kind of probably what you were talking about there. Throwing OB shots, takes a double on hole 10 after going back-to-back OB on that hole. That really kind of shot her in the foot a little bit there. Missy had a huge birdie on hole 11. She was one of only 3 players in the field to birdie hole 11. So big, big birdie for her. Then we had, after 13, Missy has 3 shots over Holland and 6 over Silva. So just a lot changed in those 4 holes. And we see this a lot in FPL, a lot of kind of score changes. Holland throws a big, big third shot on hole 15 to put a lot of pressure on Missy to get up and down for par. We see a 2-shot swing on that hole. So now all of a sudden, Missy's at 23 under, Holland's at 22. I think at this point, Silva's in the clubhouse at 20, or is about to be in the clubhouse at 20. with 3 holes left. Yuli's favorite hole, hole 16. Holland throws basically the Jake Heemenheimer, same exact shot. Heiser, too high, floats OB left. Missy goes OB as well. I think she misses right, I believe, goes OB. So now all of a sudden we have an OB battle. Hole 17. Holland, her tee shot goes OB. Oh, sorry, her tee shot goes in the death bush. We talked about this earlier. The death bush. Yuli doesn't think it's a death bush. I think it's a death bush. Goes in the death bush. Now all of a sudden, Missy's just like, all right, get the disc in play. Missy, did you guys see this angle of this fan dodging this shot?
I was there.
This was like a matrix move by this guy. Hats off to this guy because this thing was coming in hot. And Missy goes OB on her tee shot on hole 17. So we have almost this like weird, no one's really able to throw a good shot at this point. They're all trying to just find it, right? And, here we go. We got the video. Yes. I mean, look at this. This guy just over the guardrail, dodging this thing. I mean, just sacrificing his body to not get drilled by this disc. Honestly, Missy probably would have wished.
Look, he's airborne right there.
Yeah, he's like full blank. Insane disc maneuvers.
He pops up so fast too.
Must be Kyle Klein. Like,
yeah,
one
Kyle
of those
Klein's
guys.
cousin or something. So now we got OB shots all over the place. Holland goes OB on 18's tee shot. Missy goes OB on 18's tee shot, but Missy's on a much better side than Holland is. Holland goes OB, trying to, make a miraculous throw there. Missy just lays up for the win. Something that I thought was interesting here, and let me know what you guys think. I think Holland just got the short end of the stick because she was the one that always had to throw first. Right? Like she was always having to throw, and it's like had Missy thrown first on 18 and gone OB, Holland chips, and it's her tournament, right?
Yeah.
Like it just seemed like Holland was always the first to have to throw, and
that can be nice though. You throw one in bounds, put pressure.
Yeah, for sure. Mm. It was tough to see kind of the back and forth there a little bit at the end, and Missy prevails. Missy prevails, takes it down. Very impressive stuff from her.
Do you think
she's cold?
Do you think that Missy and like Holland any kind of score checking and feel that pressure of seeing Silva's finish, and that adds to that?
Missy said she had no idea that
not with Silva.
That Silva was even close. That if she didn't get up and down, she wasn't going to win.
Yeah, I don't think it was.
She knew where Holland was. She didn't know where Silva was, which is kind of crazy.
Which would have been crazy. Yeah. Like you get into 18, it's like, hey, by the way, you have to birdie this. Silva's
she just jump putts it twice.
Yeah, I think the pressure was mounting between those two, though, Gary.
Yeah.
To answer your question.
Yeah. Missy's a really interesting player to me because I feel like she is the kind of person who doesn't necessarily top out any particular category, but performs so well across every category. Like if you look at the entire event as a whole, I don't think outside of like tying for a couple things, she doesn't really lead in too many statistical categories for the event. In fact, Silva takes a whole bunch of them, but she just plays consistent, with 5 down, 3 down, and then 9 down, and then her final round of 4 down, just a consistent scoring all the time.
That's Missy's game. It's just
if your name is Gannon, you're just kind of like this.
She has a hard time beating people that have, higher ceilings, because there are players that have higher ceilings than her. So when those players are playing well, she has a hard time beating those people.
Yeah.
But for the most part,
anybody has a bad round.
She's striking.
Yeah, she's
striking. You have to beat Missy. Missy's not necessarily going to beat you. You have to beat Missy.
Yep.
I feel the same way about Owen too. Owen's the same type of player to where when Owen's playing good, it's like she's not gonna. Well, the difference between Owen and her is Owen can get on fire from circle 2,
just not miss.
and it doesn't matter how she throws it on the right course. I could see Own running away from a field.
Yeah.
I don't see that from Missy.
Yuli, we talked about this on debate night. We're going to get your answer here. Who do you think, as of right now? I think there's 4 players. I think it's Missy, it's Own, it's Silva, and it's Holland. I think those 4 players all have legitimate chances of being player of the year this year. And a lot of it's going to come down to the playoffs. And I don't think Throw Pink really gets thrown in there, but I think maybe some people might throw it in there. So it's really going to come down to these last events. Who do you think will end up? Because I think it's all on the table right now. Gannon's got it locked in.
I'll put my money on Missy only because that's what she does. Is she shows up
when some of these big ones,
the pressure gets really high. I think it's going to come down whoever wins the Pro Tour Championship. And for Missy, like she's done it so many times already, I would put my money on her just because I watch the other women fold under the pressure. And Missy walks through the door over and over and over and over and over again.
Gotcha.
Question for you guys. Go ahead, Gary.
I was going to say the big question that I have is someone like so if Silva takes another win and Missy doesn't, so even let's say it's not the Tour Championship and Dark Horse wins the Tour Championship, Silva comes out and she wins Green Mountain, enough to push her over, in your opinion?
I think it's going to take whoever wins the Pro Tour Championship between all of them.
There's seasons.
I mean, look, tell me what the win total is with all of them.
Silva's got the most with Holland, I think, at 4.
Holland has 4, and then you've got who's got Holland with majors. Silva has 3 with a major. You've got Missy, who now has 3 with a major, and then you've got Own with 2 with a major.
So if Silva wins, there's your big money and everything. She's going to be it. If Missy wins it, because their totals are so close, it's going to be Missy. I mean, just by what you're saying, it seems like that.
I think you almost need. I think it has to be one of those scenarios of where like Silva has to win, and then these other people can't win. And same thing, like Missy has to win, and these. Because if Missy wins and then Silva wins 2 other ones,
the 2 major, I think it's between Silva and Missy, to be honest with you, unless Holland just wins out and then she makes a good.
Don't forget about Own. No, don't forget about Own.
Own doesn't have enough wins, and if she wins out, well,
we'll see.
But you got to look at like Holland has a good case because of how consistent she was the whole entire season.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like a Calvin thing of like who's the most consistent, but they didn't have the major.
The tough part for Silva and Holland, and we talked about this, like Troy said, debate night, is there is also a certain degree of likability that I think Missy and Own have. That not that Silva and Holland aren't likable, but to a certain small degree, the voting for this can be.
Some people might want to see Own win.
Slightly popularity. So Missy is just a very favorable candidate to win because she's an extremely likable player. She's won an event recently and has a major. The question will be like, I think Holland and Own have to win 2 of the remaining 3 to be in the conversation legitimately. Yeah. Silva and Missy, whichever one of them takes the biggest win in the remaining group, even though technically like Silva has beaten stronger fields this season, Missy just has that, what have you done for me lately kind of.
Yeah, we'll have to see. Interesting coming in the last 3 events.
That'd be fun. Sure. All right, pick 'em results. Pick 'em results. We have let's see here. So
jeez.
We end up taking 53 points. They take 30 points. Gee, yeah, what the heck?
If only we would have taken Simon over Kyle Klein.
The fact that they didn't take Gannon Buhr in a 4-round tournament, Yuli, that just shows us who we're playing against. That shows us who we're playing against.
Especially, guys, no offense, Isaac. Like, not that Isaac can't win this event, but like of the people in that $4 tier, I don't think Isaac's the first or second pick.
Yeah, they're reaching here.
Yeah.
We got Gooseman getting us a nice little 10-pointer there, which is awesome. Cap Merch got us 6 points, and Own got us 12. They've got Paul getting them 8 points. Chris Dickerson got them 1. Cap Merch got them 6, and then they did get Holland with 15 as
Goose
well.
Man coming in clutch.
Heck yeah.
For $1, the Gooseman, that's 10 points. That's big time.
Clutch.
Love to see it. So we have now extended our lead to 181.2. We will have to have Edwin let us know when we get to the point of where it's unwinnable. We would have to get negative points for them to surpass us.
80.2 points away from 1,000.
Because I think we only have – because I don't think we're going to do the Tour Championship either. Because doesn't the Tour Championship do some weird stuff to where you can't really do pick 'em?
Maybe.
No, we can pick them.
We could try. Yeah.
Do we know? But are they? Is like Gannon Buhr starting with 10 under par?
Yeah, probably.
Are they doing that weird stuff again? We don't know.
Yeah,
we'll see. All right. Kristen Lott drops out of throw pink, Yuli and Gary.
Yep.
Is she done for the year? It looks like it. This was a question that was thrown in. It says, is Kristen Lott finished? She has dropped out of throw pink as of today, and after her embarrassing final round putting display in Estonia and then quitting Pro Worlds with pretty much no excuse, is she moving on from the sport? So this person's asking, should we be looking ahead? Is this something of where it's not just a, hey, I'm done playing disc golf this year. This is a, hey, I might be done playing disc golf forever. What are your guys' takes on that?
I don't think we're done seeing Kristen play disc golf. I think she's taken such a break now. It's just hard to, I think, refire up those engines again and come back and try to compete seriously. Because you think about it, right? The only way she wins in that scenario is if she comes back and looks like the Kristen of old. If she does what she's been doing or she's worse, it's not a good look for her. It's better to just, I think, shut it down for the season, do what you do and come back. And who knows? Maybe there's some weird stuff going on because I heard there's an Estonian disc company that's been making some really interesting plastic. So maybe we're going to find out there's some crazy, she's tied to this Estonian disc golf company. But no, I think we'll see her next year. I don't think she's done with the sport.
Yeah, I can't imagine her being done. It's a lot of money to leave on the table, to be honest. Yeah. I mean, at this
overreaction, you think?
Yeah, at this point, contracts have been signed. Shoot, I just saw something recently, she just dropped a new bag or something.
She did just drop a new bag.
Yeah, and so that, I think that's just absolutely bonkers to think that she would be done. And I agree with this. If you're going through it and you take a little time off and then you're out there and you're practicing or whatever and it's not there, then shut it down for the rest of the season. Charge the batteries, get ready for next year. Like you said, Gary, that's what I would do.
We got some good listener questions here to finish off the pod. Shout out to everyone that shoots in our listener questions. If you want to get your question answered on the pod, make sure you are over on Twitter following Tour Life or Foundation or myself. I normally tweet it out the day of the podcast, so sometime today, and just tweet your question and you might have it answered right here. So first question is for Yuli here. Just tore tendons in my knee. What's the best way to rehab for disc golf? Is it harder mentally or physically?
It's probably harder physically, to be honest with you. I mean, the mental for me, I can only speak for me. I've always, when I've had a bad injury like that, tried to stay super patient and find other things to do and not think about disc golf that much. And then, it's a grind to always get back healthy, and you just got to do what the doctors say. Luckily, there's a lot of good physical therapists out there that'll tell you exactly what you need in order to come back. And so if you just listen to
professional for sure,
other professionals telling you how to come back from it, and you believe in the work and you do the work, then you'll come back quick. I guess one tip I would give you is try to find some motivation to come back strong. One of my motivations was somebody I forgot who it was, but I remember saving it because they were like, LeBron James like came back in 5 months after ACL tear because he has the best doctors and all this stuff, and like they're the best athletes on the planet, and so that like really fired me up to be like, what are you talking about? Like, I'm one of the best athletes on the planet. Like, you don't know me. And so I kind of use that as motivation. And I came back super fast after my ACL tear. So if you can find little things like that, sometimes they really help, and put that like up on a mirror and be like, nah, I'm going to prove these people wrong. So that would be my advice.
Get some motivation. I know how you feel about ratings, but do you think there should be separate ratings for MPO and FPO? Is it better to watch Kristen chase 1,000 or Paul's 1062?
I think it's better to watch an amateur chase 1,000, and you should get rid of them completely.
Yep.
I think it's a fantastic thing for when I was coming up to reach that 1,000 mark was awesome. And I remember watching the thing every single day being like, is this the time? And I got stumped at 999. And it was like, I remember it like it was yesterday, and that was super exciting. Right now in my career, couldn't care less what I'm rated. Could not care less whether I do look at it and I do see myself go up and down. But I could care less. But I'm also not chasing 1062. You know what I mean? Like, from my peak to right now, I'm going to hit these crazy marks 50 more times in my career and probably not go above that.
Yeah. That's where I'm at too, is I could totally see if I was Gannon and I was trying to be the highest rated player of all time, then obviously the ratings would probably mean a little bit more.
Yeah.
But if you're just in this no man's land, who really cares, right?
I'd be between like 1020 and 1030, and I have been for a decade. So
yeah. As for the MPO FPO thing, though, I think a lot of people have a very unrealistic understanding of how FPO ratings correlate to the skill level of the FPO field. So they look at MPO ratings and they think, oh man, 990 for an FPO player compared to 1050. That's so terrible, but it's like 990 in the FPO division on these courses is a really solid rate. So I think it's a misunderstanding. Like, if we're going to keep ratings, to understand the realism of what a good rating is at the FPO level.
Right. And and it's really hard to say like a FPO 999 is the same as an MPO 999. Like, they're two completely different things because we play two completely different fields.
Courses, yep. Do you try to play extra fast to make a point? Say in your round two, I think this is towards me. Say in your round two at DGLO when you have a notorious slow player on your card. So the first thing I'll say is I did play with Cupcake round two. I'm assuming that's who you are referring to for notorious slow player. We waited for the card in front of us on hole 3, and we waited literally 30 to 2 minutes every single hole moving forward after that. And I've played with Cupcake a couple times. He's sometimes slow putting, but other than that, he's not very slow at all.
He's not slow. I played with him.
He walks. Yeah, he walks fast. He knows when it's his turn to throw. It's just sometimes, it sucks that he just sits there for 40 seconds before he putts, but he is not the issue when it comes to slow play, I think, when he's playing well. Now, maybe when he's playing bad, Yuli, and he's like missing putts, so he's doing like a 40-second putt, and then he's got to do another 40-second putt.
I played with him, and he didn't go over 30 seconds one time during my round. Not on the green, not on the fairway, not off the tee.
Yeah, so
I mean, he was close. It was close. A couple little pump fakes in there, but I didn't see that.
Yeah. This might be me only remembering the bad. Maybe Edwin or Gary can confirm, but it seems Holland plays poorly in final rounds when she has a share or better of the lead more often than not. Is it time to question if her mental game is strong enough to consistently win? So I did ask this to Edwin early on to see if he could give me some insight. And he says he just basically quickly eyeballed this, and he found that DGLO led going into the final round, finished third. Krokol tied for lead going into the final round, won it. Northwest Disc Golf Course first to first. Casey wide open, first to first. Austin, first to first. Supreme Flight tied for lead going into final round, lost in a playoff. So that's 4 wins and 6 tries with the lead or tied for the lead. So I don't think she is having an issue in the final round in 2025.
She's actually kind of cold-blooded. It sounds like.
It's kind of actually nasty.
Yeah.
Here we go. What's the best mid-range in the Discraft lineup?
Ooh.
I think we might all have different answers for this one.
I'm really liking the Malita.
Ooh, okay.
I'm really liking the Malita. I haven't thrown it that much. I don't get to throw a lot of buzzes or anything on the board. This last week, I didn't throw one mid-range. Well, no, I threw one mid-range on 8 for the big turnover. Other than that, I didn't throw a single mid-range the whole entire time.
I'm a mid-range guy on 16.
I think the buzz. I think the buzz would be probably the right answer. But I do like the Malita. It might replace it. I just haven't got to throw it enough.
Gary, thoughts?
Am I allowed to Discraft adjacent companies like DGA?
No, they want to know Discraft. We will not allow any DGA.
Well, that's tough then, because I don't throw any Discraft mids, and I treat my zone like a mid half the time because I work to try to get my zone to like 300. So
we will allow a zone. We'll allow a zone.
We'll go zone.
If you want to go with zone, it is an approach.
Although I have experimented with the buzzsaw, and it's good, but I've got a mid that does everything that the buzzsaw does and better. So
I'm going to go with my true and trusted Meteor. And I think, honestly, a really good disc for a lot of AMs out there that don't have the arm speed for the buzz to fly the way that pros throw the buzz. You can find some oversaver Meteors that will have that same flight, which is a very, very important flight to have in your bag of tricks. That just straight shot that's not going to turn too much and not going to fade too much at the end. And also is not going to have that big skip or anything with the fairway drivers.
If I had to play like local tournaments, like little C tier, B tier, A tiers, like the local, you know what disc I would for sure have in my bag? The Comet.
I just don't like the way that feels.
Yeah, but do you like the way it flies? Is the thing.
Yeah, but
coasting right for as long as you'd like it to, man.
But I have Meteors that do that.
No, you don't.
You just gotta find the right Meteors.
Stable at the end.
Not my Ohio State Meteor. That thing is
the Meteors is basically a more stable Comet. That's what
Comet just feels weird. I don't like the way the Comet feels.
It's big. It's a big disc. It's the farthest flying disc in the world.
I like the asteroid.
What?
Meteors, comets, asteroids. Are they all the same thing?
Comet off a cliff, it goes farther than any disc in the world. It will fly the longest.
I feel like that's a great video to test out. We might have to test that.
We have to go get them, though.
Yeah, that's fine. You just have people down there. It's fine.
Oh, yeah.
Is it worth trying to get driving and approach stats recorded so they can be broken down forehand and backhand? This is really, really cool. I think this wouldn't be that hard either for the stats people to do it, because you could just have something as soon as you like input in, you could have something pop up, F or B, and then just tap it. And so at the end, you can like, I like that. I think it's a great idea. Something that
we just need to get people to do their stats correctly. That's a big one.
I mean, these are retired volunteers out there. All right, they're doing the best they freaking can.
I know, but we got to be careful. I got to see some agreed keeping stone with some very starstruck scorekeepers.
Yep, happens.
I mean, how else are you going to get someone to do stats?
I know, but there's the difference: 11 feet and 35 feet. Most people should be able to know that.
Does the Disc Golf Pro Tour share attendance figures? Just wondering how DGLO stacks up to other events.
They do, and I don't know that. You know what, Pro Tour, if you're listening, how about a little graph of attendance, like a nice little Instagram?
Yeah, I feel like I've seen them do it sometimes.
I think they've done it before, but that would be cool. Worlds is gonna knock this.
Yeah,
Oh, that's not
Worlds
a
will
pro
be-
tour though.
Technically, yeah, it's a major. So
I'm interested in that.
that would be a sweet graph, like the
Minnesota
top five
always
most
killing them.
Yeah, I like it. I mean, there's a lot of people that come out to Portland. A lot of people.
Yep.
This is an interesting one. Thoughts on pros flipping discs from events? Is it a valid way for them to fund their tour or a bad look and not worth it? I asked because I saw 2 players selling the big head Mario discs on Facebook. I don't blame them. They may as well if people are willing to buy them, but it does give me a little bit of a bad impression for some reason. Great question. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I think they should be able to do whatever they want with their discs. If they want to sell them, sell them. And I think it's a great way to have a lot of people be able to go out and make a couple extra bucks. The Pro Tour is providing a place for them, the Pro Tour, to be a great business, to have the best players in the world and be able to film it and give us all those things. So it's a give and take. And so to then allow the players to be able to have a platform to be able to get the discs that their manufacturers, because a lot of manufacturers just can't give you straight cash, but they can give you product. And if they give you product, then you're able to go into those places and have a encounter with one of your fans. Now he's talking about Facebook, but I'm just talking about like the in-person sales.
Yeah, he's talking about more.
But it kind of goes to the same way, because what if that guy sells
like
it in
limited
person?
releases and stuff?
Sure, but what if that guy sells
it?
it in person to a guy for however much money?
Yeah. If does it get is there someone who wants to buy it? Yes, cool. Does it help the touring player? Yes, it's cool. Like it's honestly, you got to do what you can to stay on tour. If there are people out there thinking that these guys make and gals make so much money that they have to do that stuff, crazy. Do that stuff.
But I do see how that could look a little strange.
Yeah, and there's going to be some people that are going to be turned off a little bit by it, right? Like put off might be, and that makes sense as well. To each their own. I think that's.
But I think they should be able to do that. Yes.
Should Disc Golf Network be cutting to Now, I didn't watch Disc Golf Network at all this weekend, so if you guys watched it or people in the chat, let me know. They're saying, should Disc Golf Network be cutting to post-round interviews, then playing the lead card final holes on tape delay like round 3 this weekend? So I don't remember. Yeah, I don't remember really seeing much of this. Did that actually happen? Did they show? So they're claiming that they showed post-round interviews during the round.
And then caught back up.
Because they showed post-round interviews,
yes, they should.
They delayed all the shots and then we're on tape delay.
I think they should do that. I think a better way to do it is doing what we're doing right here. Cut
picture in picture.
Picture in picture.
Yeah, I don't know why they don't do picture in picture.
Maybe they don't have the capability, but they should figure that out.
Start the interview when the guys are standing on the tee pad and no one's doing it. And then when all of a sudden someone's about to throw, have the interview still going on in the bottom and have the no audio of the actual throw so we can see it.
Yeah. They do it with the commercials, so they can definitely do it with the interviews.
Yeah. That's true. Yeah. Yeah, that's what they should do though.
All right. Did I miss anything? Anything else you guys want to chat about? I've got a couple other things to mention, but just some housekeeping stuff. We nailed everything? Yeah. Sick. All right. Some foundation discs and custom stamps that are coming out this week, guys. We have the Conman Shaman back in stock. That's dropping this Friday at 5 p.m. Eastern on foundationdisc.com. Make sure you go grab one of those. They will go fast. We still have some Precock zones still in stock over at foundationdisc.com. So if you want one of those, go for it. We've got a little sub box hint. If you want a little hinty hint, it's very groovy. 3 disc and 4 disc box with month subscription. So go check that out as well. If you haven't yet signed up for our text deals, text JOIN to 1-833-255-8270, and you can get some text deals throughout the week, throughout the month. Definitely check that up. And some videos that are coming out or have come out. We have the monthly match that came out today. Hunter and Trevor, I think, combine all their bags. I think Connor's in that as well. And also, Yuli, don't forget about your vesties.
Yeah, vesty.com/Yuli. Right there, bam, 15% off.
Pick them up.
Shoot, still love them. Still wearing them. Still very, very happy. I just dropped a cool little video actually myself last week. If you haven't checked that out, you can go to my YouTube and check it out. It was just me.
Oh, it was a cool little video.
It wasn't anything special. It was just me thanking my sponsors, honestly, kind of going through what they do for me. I actually mentioned the podcast and I actually mentioned Foundation in there as well. Just a thank you to you guys for allowing me to be part of this platform, because you don't have a lot of association with Foundation except for this platform. And I think it's really cool of you guys to allow me to be on here and be a voice.
Well, we have to have someone on here to correct me in all my nonsense that I spew on this podcast. Someone's got to keep me accountable.
No, but I really do. I appreciate you guys over there.
No, it's good stuff, brother. We appreciate you on here as well. The podcast would not be the same without you. That's for sure. Anything else, boys? Anything else? We got. What do we have until GMC? We have a week off.
No, we're
nothing
going back
here in the next week.
Yep. Next week we're at the GMC. So Tuesday should be a pretty cool week. I think to let the viewers know, next week we're going to be talking a lot of bubble stuff. I think will be important. I think we're also going to be talking. We're going to be making our picks. That'll be good.
We also have Jonathan Poole, who I don't think we've had on the podcast before.
So cool.
I think he's going to be coming on the podcast, I believe, either next Tuesday or the following Tuesday. I'm not entirely sure, but we'll be talking a lot about USDGC with him. Maybe some changes through the course. Maybe they mowed the grass.
I will say, dude, they
Yuli call them out.
It is
the day after our podcast. I go out there and I was driving through and they were mowing the grass.
Oh,
I'm not gonna say we had something to do with it. I think it was just coincidence, but it is getting mowed. And I haven't been out there this week, but the last time I was here, half the course was mowed.
Oh, you love to see it. That's awesome. All right. Well, thank you, everyone that is live in the chat. Thanks, everyone that's listening to us after the fact. We appreciate all you guys, and we'll see you guys next week.
Cool.
Good show, boys.